Welcome to Success Superstars, episode number 160, your place for inspiration and the blueprint of success for peak performers just like you. My special guest today, Howard Ashkinos. Howard, welcome.
Thank you.
Glad you're here.
I'm excited to be here.
Well, you have had such a phenomenal year. Seppi's winner, for our MVP of our staff. But let's go back before that. We'll come back to Seppi's in a minute. But you have such an amazing history of coaching and pouring into people before real estate. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's I think helping people has always been, it's just been a calling of mine. Mm-hmm. And so early on, at the time, actually go way back, yeah. I had a mentor, somewhat of a leader in my life, mm-hmm. who gave me some disappointing news one day. Oh. I was 17 years old and he says, I didn't make the cut. Mm. Well, that's how it all began for me, because I went home very upset and I said, well, what do you mean I didn't make the cut the next day? And he said, I got something else for you. And I didn't know it at the time what kind of blessing it was. But at 17 years old, I was given my first opportunity to coach a baseball team. And that's how it started for me, really. Mm. Really, that's literally it. Coach Thompson, still to this day, I see on the every once in a while out at the ball field, following something, and I'll still go up to him and I'll talk to him about it. But he gave me my opportunity to coach at 17 years old, and I've basically been coaching some form or another, whether it be sports or people in different walks ever since. It's always been a passion of mine, and what again looked like something that was a little bit of a negative turned into one of the greatest blessings of my life. So
one door closed, which you didn't know until the next day, another one opened.
That's right.
Now, you tell some amazing stories about your coaching experience. One of them was, like a kid that never gave up. Yeah. Tell us about some of the maybe stories that you had throughout coaching that stand out for you.
Well, I think that we don't have enough time to talk about all the stories, but I will say this. Many stories, and right. I think the underlining message of almost every one of them is that confidence, knowing that we can do it in anything with just the proper focus and the proper mindset. Right. I mean, I've had kids who've been shaking, walking to the plate with their hands rattling, and after looking at two pitches, strike one, strike two, I immediately, call time, and I bring them over to me and I say, listen, with my hand on their shoulder, I've seen you do this. Mm-hmm. I need you to tell yourself you can do this. Right. And I force them to kind of get out of whatever they're in right there and recognize. So it's the same thing. I mean, we've done the things we want to do in most cases, Right. Sometimes we're trying something new for the first time, and then that's a lesson in itself. In that example, I say to somebody, what's the difference between, and I know that you're an outdoorsman and you've probably skied a lot in your life, right. But I say to somebody who snow skis, mm-hmm. who shakes and trembles at the thought of going down a double black diamond. And I say, what's the difference between me at the top of the mountain and you're standing next to me and you're crying, wanting to slide down on your butt, and I'm going, woo, I can't wait to go after it. What's the difference? And you have to just recognize that the difference is the fact that I've been there and done that. And repetition, time and time again, has given me the ability to have confidence that I can do it. And this other person who's standing next to me, who may be trembling, doesn't have confidence. So they shouldn't be there until they actually work their way into some confidence. But that's really the difference in why one person screams with excitement and the other person trembles with fear. Yeah. Is their level of been there and done that.
Yeah. The experience.
Exactly.
So how did you translate and take this love of sports and love of baseball and love of coaching, and you started your own real estate practice at one point? What led you to that?
Well, it was early. I wasn't really doing a whole lot except playing around, learning a little bit of golf, and my girlfriend at the time, who's now my bride, was kind of sick of that and not having me make something of myself. With a wise counsel from a friend who I believe in coaching, so I've had coaches in my life, my entire life. Said, you should look into investing into homes. And long story short, the recommendation was, why don't you get your real estate license, learn the business, And then you can start learning where to put your money and where to do with your invest. So that's what I did. I got my real estate license. Shannon, my wife, got her real estate license at the same time. And here we are almost 26 years later.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think. But that's really what started it.
Yeah.
Just the kind of the prodding of learning the business so I can invest someday. And it just turned into the career.
Yeah. And so now fast forward those 26 years, you're now our senior leader or vice president of recruiting and development for all of our firm, and helping bring folks in and helping them start that career that you started.
Yeah, it's probably, Mark, the greatest joy I have every day is actually talking with people who are beginning their career. It's great talking with the old timers, and it's great talking with top producers, and I'm still learning things, and I get to absorb from them as well, so I can share. But the newbies, the people that are young, looking to get in, is probably the greatest conversations that I get most excited about, especially as I do groups. I do group calls, and there's just so much, excitement in somebody's beginning of a career, and it's just amazing to be a part of that.
Well, now you translated that joy and that performance. Each year we recognize one of the, we call it the MVP.
Yeah.
You got the MVP of the staff this year. We called it our SEPI's Award. And what did that mean to you?
Well, first and foremost, it meant that I'm surrounded by great people. Because I'm a team player. I love having great people on my team, and I love to be on great teams. And so I believe that any recognition for someone who's being recognized in whatever fashion really is a product of those that they're surrounded with. So by all means, it's not of myself. But those that are surrounding me, including you, because every day you lift me up, and you're a wealth of knowledge. And I think I shared an email recently with you that said that in the 26 years, as I look at, again, not even just new agents, but experienced agents, I can't imagine where they find a wealth of knowledge that you bring to this company, and our team on a daily basis. For the purpose of helping someone else achieve their dreams and goals. And I just applaud you because that is, to me, what gives me the ability to stand in front of someone, or on the other side of a call, or on a Zoom call that we're doing these days, right? Where I can say, guys, this is a place for you. I mean, if you want to do this business, you will not find a greater resource. So that's when I have kind of goes back to the top of the mountain.
Right.
I'm at the top of the mountain with JPAR, and I know that I have you. And when you are who you are and the team members around me, I think it's just natural that I get to be the best that I can be.
Right.
And that's probably why, one of the things that maybe the staff recognize or the leadership recognize. And I appreciate it. It's something I will definitely treasure.
Well, thank you for those compliments, but it was really, you had a phenomenal year, phenomenal performance. You and your team really stood out this year. It's something you got to be very proud of.
Yeah, I am. In the normal course of things, sometimes, again, I think it's just the ups and downs. Don't focus on a way to grow as opposed to a way to pull back. Don't run.
Right.
Go attack.
And that's what I noticed you did throughout the COVID and the lockdowns and everything we've gone through. You didn't sit there and say, well, how am I going to do this? You figured out how to do it and did it.
Yeah.
And kept moving forward. And the results were phenomenal.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. That speaks to your leadership.
I appreciate it. Yeah. No, it's a joy.
Well, what would you share with the audience about a career in real estate, whether you're brand new or whether you've been in it 20, 25 years? Is there, if they were here looking for some advice, how would you coach them?
Yeah, I think that it kind of starts with that. At 26 years of being in this business, I think 22 or 23 of the years, I had a personal real estate coach. I'm a firm believer in that. We have resources and tools at JPAR, obviously, where there doesn't necessarily need to be a huge monetary investment, although I do encourage that because there's some level of accountability. There's some level of buy-in. There's something to keep you going and on track. And in this business, what I do share with people every day is that most agents don't realize this at the beginning, But our business, the industry of like buying and selling and representing clients in real estate as a realtor, actually has different compartments or different departments, and even different areas of business that your personality has to fit. Well, we go into this thing thinking we can do it all, and at the end of the day, we really don't. Not many of us have the ability to handle every department. And so we have to learn how to outsource, how to use different resources, or in turn, really learn how to grow in different areas so that we can be good at generating business, working the business, keeping up with what goes after we work with a client. So those are different compartments, so to speak. So I encourage coaching. I encourage looking at your business. Obviously, like, don't just haphazardly be in this deal. If you want to, I always say the term kick butt and take names. What I mean by that is that if you're really wanting to create a company and be independent, and then you have to have some guidelines and surroundings.
Well, and you can relate to this as a coach. You know, the EOS system or 4 disciplines of execution really kind of helps you identify your unique skill.
Yes.
But, you know, like a team player, what's that player's unique skill? And in a sense, automating, delegating, or eliminating the rest.
I love it.
That's not your unique skill. So if I didn't have the skill to play first base and you put me on first base, but I'm really an outfielder, I'm in the wrong spot, right? Yeah. But you put me out in the outfield and now I perform.
Yeah.
Same analogy. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I think that overall, I mean, regardless whether you're new or experienced, most people don't realize the wealth of their depth of connecting with people that are just really in their phone. They don't have an understanding that it's not so much about helping someone buy or sell a home. It's about making sure that everybody that you love and trust and knows you and loves you knows that you're the person to rely on. So that's probably the next big key that I always share, is that don't look at this word in our industry is called leads. You know, everybody's just this like over the top about leads. Well, I always say, what is a lead? I mean, I can pull out my phone right now. I've got 7,500 leads in my phone.
Right.
Okay. Now I have to just qualify them. And so that's one of the things. And I'm working on a 5-week series of actually qualifying a lead. So I'm working on a training program to you'll hear more about that from Shannon and the team when it becomes available.
Well, cool. Well, we're anxious to see that. Well, this has been a great episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. Love it.
All right. Well, it's been fun to be here.
Yeah. It's fun to have you. And, you know, if folks want to reach out, they can reach out and connect with Howard and his team at jparready.com.
jparready.com. That's a way anybody, whether they're JPAR agents and want to refer someone or a prospective agent, and just go to jparready.com and fill out the little 1-minute thing, and it'll connect right with me or my team, and we'd love to meet you.
Yeah, that is awesome. All right. Well, Howard, thanks for being a guest today.
Yes, absolutely.
There we go. Seppi's winner, MVP of the year. And that's a wrap for episode number 160. Until we see you again, may your choices reflect your hopes and not your fears.